Hi, I'm Kai Nagata, and I was a political reporter in Quebec about 5 years ago when a major corruption scandal broke that ended up taking down the government. So when I moved home to BC, I looked around and realized that our political donation laws are so weak that they're creating the same conditions for favoritism, bid rigging, influence peddling, and ultimately corruption. So this is a problem for our democracy, but it's also costing taxpayers money. So in 1 minute or less, I wanted to explain to you how corruption can increase your tax bill based on the Quebec example. So our tax dollars go to government. That's their main source of revenue. Then the government contracts out for public services to private companies. We're talking about hospital laundry contracts, independent power producers, the TransLink Compass card, government IT projects, and of course, roads and bridges. We spend almost $1 billion a year on paving contracts. The contractors then take a certain amount of that money, they hand it back to the party to say thank you, and of course the party spends money in elections so that they can become the government again and keep the whole cycle going. Now this is a problem for two reasons. When political donations become internalized in the cost of doing business, that cost ends up getting passed back to the client, which in this case is really you. The other problem is what happened in Quebec, which is that the companies would actually talk to each other about who would get which contracts where and how much they would set the price at. That's called collusion. And when you combine collusion with favoritism, again, we're talking about the Quebec example here, what you get is a lack of competition, and that costs you in other ways in the form of project delays and higher costs overall to the taxpayer. So as you get ready to fork over more of your hard-earned dollars to the government this spring, I want you to think about the roads and bridges you drive over. Think about who got to build them. How much did they spend in terms of political donations in order to get that contract, and how much of that is passed on to you, the taxpayer, in the form of higher costs. We have to break this link between private companies and political parties in BC. Otherwise, it doesn't matter who's in power, we're stuck with the bill. That's why Dogwood has launched banbigmoney.ca. It's our petition to get big money out of politics and put power back in the hands of citizens where it belongs. So sign the petition at banbigmoney.ca and send a message to your MLA that this kind of system that developed in Quebec is unacceptable and it's not something we're going to put up with in BC. Thanks very much.